Hello, Flying. How are you? Oh my god, my voice. Sorry. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good Tuesday / Wednesday, I guess. I do have the court thing that Flani did set up. That's why I'm already tiny, because it's going to show up in the middle of this screen. But maybe I should wait for some people to show up. But I think they already all saw it in Discord. But anyway, I want to show it on stream for, people that watch VODs or YouTube, I guess. Speaking of YouTube, I did change the name of the playlist slightly because it was like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. So I removed the trilogy part because it's just the name of the first game in this trilogy is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, nothing else. So I'm gonna separate the different games into their own playlists just to be a bit more organized. Other than that, I guess let's hop right back into the game. He truly is an ace, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of a different kind of ace, maybe. Or maybe you're thinking of the same ace. But I mean, he's not dating anybody. Doesn't seem interested in anybody, which is fine. But, yeah. Let's hop right back into it. Oh. Why is the default option not yes on the reload? February 23, 9:34 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. We're actually seeing court today, yes! I am nervous about what's gonna happen because everything is against us, I feel, but I guess it's not supposed to be an easy game. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. I know I already don't believe you. But there's a difference between believing you and believing in your innocence, I think. Wow, Jay. She is telling me her confession is a lie. Right there. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. So you have no idea what you're talking about. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I better get good. Oh, she's here. I'll be alone in there, or not. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. He's definitely been seeing visions of people, right? I wonder if Maya kind of gave me a little bit of her power when she was electrocuted and then she tapped me on the shoulder or whatever, you know? Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Is this my helper? February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lena Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Is he telling me I'm late? Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. But yeah, you are late. That's true. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. What about your personal feelings? It's your chief prosecutor. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lena Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. Can you, like, not simp for the enemy for now? Until the trial is over? I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. I wouldn't call that professional. She is a professional at gathering boyfriends, I think. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, so there's multiple, huh? Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? She's so pretty. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Don't tell me you're one of her boyfriends. Oh, I deliver lunch to you every day, Mr. Judge. You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Caviar? I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Oh, and for you, I have a fiesta ball. What is in that? Are these worms? What is a fiesta ball? Objection, this is clearly bribery. Yes. Thanks? Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. She's giving him something with ants. Sorry, I'm just seeing bugs in all of these foods. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? He always has trouble getting the name. So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. You're actually eating while in court, bro. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, no. Me, the name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is she... Is she trying to discredit him? Like she's already, like, is this what we agreed to say? Or something like that? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. We have a time limit of 3 days. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star, there's the 2 years again, was a special investigator with the police. Okay. So she was maybe completely fired, and the, what's his name, Marshall, was demoted, and a whole of other things that happened 2 years ago. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Uh-huh. I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up, Queen Star, Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. So the cough up queen part isn't related to her food. Objection. Special investigator or no special investigator. Special investigator. She is a witness to the crime and thus unable to provide an impartial description of the events of the crime. You're right. Maybe you should be taking Phoenix Wright's spot, or at least be his fae this time. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here, are you telling me to look up to your eyes? Oh, a map. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. Quote 58. Whatever I was thinking about. It was balls in his core, yes. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block. In the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with a knife and went to drive the body out. I don't know if I agree with this sequence of events. Just because of the way he was he was slipping over out of the trunk. Like, I feel he should have been flipped the other way around and stabbed and then stuffed into the trunk. But it's, from what I saw, it sounds like he was already in the trunk. And while he was trying to escape, he was stabbed. And he just drooped over, his body drooped over the trunk. So did Edgeworth kidnap him and put him in the trunk, and then the prosecutor come to finish off the job? I know that's not what happened, but I just can't imagine it the way she's saying it. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. She arrested her. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? We're gonna have crushed right. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garnished car. So she was in Block B. How did she apprehend her on the spot? I feel like she would have to run around quite a long distance just to get there. The judge is clearly prejudiced, yes. And also the way that he is right now. I guess they will never see this memory or whatever, but the way that we see it, that's not how his body would be falling out of the trunk if he was stabbed in the trunk. Let's see the rest of her testimony. Maybe I misunderstood something in the summary. Garish car. I don't know what garish means, but maybe it's like a very expensive one. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. She also says chest. Just like Marshall. Did I misread it when I was reading Lena's information? That she said she did it in the stomach? Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. Oh my god. That's what you're focusing on? As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm not crushed, there is a contradiction in there. I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Well, very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Excuse me. Haruhi reference? Is it? Sarcasm. I guess not. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. Why? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. Why is he bowing? The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Okay. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. Did she actually quit over that case 2 years ago? And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors, no, she was laid off, I would still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. Doesn't sound unbiased, yeah. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Oh my god. What is he gonna say? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room in the lot in A block is in the lot in A block. So why was she in B block? Oh, because she has to park there and then walk over to him, right? It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. I wonder if the second witness is the security guard. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. What did she sense? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. What? I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? Is she gonna compare everything to food? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. And then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Okay. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. She can elaborate on that a little. By garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. For a professional to miss these details. I don't know if I would call her professional. If I didn't press on that, the judge would never have learned this information. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we are doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo. You are a biased witness. There you go, Flanny. He made your point. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. The judge is hungry. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. She took a picture. Photograph? You took this? Is that... Whose jacket is that? Is that the detective's? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I would show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Which boyfriend? Well, this is most certainly the defendant. The moment of the crime as photographed by Angel Star. There is no timestamp on it. That is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I would say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all. Yes, that's about right. How did she know that it is his? Unless she has access to the evidence and the investigation. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife, then what? Okay, this is our contradiction. Maybe this is where we say, no, she said she stabbed him in the stomach, right? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. There was a fence between them. But how did she apprehend her with the fence between them? Maybe I did read it wrong. Maybe it wasn't in the stomach. I thought he would ask about the stomach. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. I guess she could have at least yelled at her to stop it. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. What about your honed abilities? Too late? Yes, the next moment. Okay, so it's not his jacket because we see he's wearing a jacket there. Maybe it's her jacket and she was wearing it to not get blood on her outfit. But she's not even covering it, like she doesn't... she doesn't have it actually worn on both arms. Or buttoned up. But why is she wearing it so weird like that? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, this star's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Maybe our way out of this is to point out that Edgeworth could have been the murderer. Even if it's like just temporary so we get more information, you know? Just to not get a guilty verdict on her.
Did you see it?
There's at least one contradiction. You got nothing this time, Cyber. What? Her tuned special investigator sends an upcoming murder, yet she didn't realize on time that was happening. Yeah. Cyber is out of touch and Jay's out of time. I still have no clue what this note could be about. Sadly, I cannot press her on the summary where she said she apprehended her. Like, I could be asking more questions, like when did that happen? How did that happen? I should know how this works by now. No, I'm gonna finish the whole trilogy and still not know how it works. Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Why? I did press her on every single statement. And none of them told me to present any evidence. Don't smile like that. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. Was on the way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. There are no prints. Let me try presenting this. No, it's nothing. Okay. See, it didn't tell me to present any evidence. So the pressing is not prompting me to do that. So that means I need to present evidence at one of these myself without the game prompting me to. Wait. Wouldn't Edgeworth be there still? Or I missed a statement. I didn't miss a statement. I pressed her on this, didn't I? Yeah. I guess you did overstatement, huh? Let me double check. Maybe I didn't. I wish I understood what the note meant. I feel like if I had a slight clue about what it was, maybe I can present it somewhere. Yeah, I cannot present here. Can only look. We just did this and this and the last one and this, right? This is the part where he tells her, why didn't you try to stop it, right? I feel like maybe this is our opportunity to present something, but what? Hint or answer? Let me think about it a bit. I think the 12-2 is a date. And I'm guessing they're going in the non-American direction of things because it is a February, right? And the murder happened on the 22nd, so it's 10 days after this date, whatever that was. So maybe he was coming to show her something related to some case that happened in February. It feels so weird that everything happened in such a small amount of time. Like Edgeworth parked at 5:12. Murder happened at 5:15. The call happened at 5:18. She did not tell us when or how she apprehended her. This doesn't even show the knife in her hand. It's not at the moment of the murder. I think I'm gonna present this. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. Did I do it right, Flani? Or is there gonna be more? As I've already said, yes, I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I did? Okay, good. Thank you. I'm sure that is a fine lunch, but isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That is the weakest objection he's ever given. Oh my god, Wright had the same idea. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. That's not what I said. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Yeah, but where is the body? Why is the blood only on the jacket? Why isn't there more on the floor? Where is the body? You don't even see his feet or the body falling out of the trunk or anything. Why is it only on the jacket? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Come on, help me with your science. You got a better idea? Yes. It's only on the coat. Why? That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. That's what I was saying, but the Edgeworth is like before the crime or after the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. But that's not the only objection I have, Mr. Wright. The splatter doesn't make sense. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well? Oh, she is wearing gloves. That's why there are no prints. Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Come on, come on, come on. The gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. A serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Okay. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Let's press on this. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? He's so desperate. Alright, Jay, now turn it around. The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry that they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got me thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this isn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound. You said that before. Anything else? If this was premeditated, why did she need this knife? Wouldn't she bring her own? Does she know what Edgeworth keeps in his car? Why is this in our evidence? Has a handprint on it. She's wearing the jacket differently than from Angel Star's memory. I don't think that's an important detail. But I still stand by my point about the blood splatter not being anywhere else. Alright, I'm starving. I'll go heat up a pizza. Good luck. Okay, enjoy your pizza. Thank you for the lurk, Flani. I think I'm gonna need a whole lot of luck. Maybe... Why did she call her sister? I feel like I need to present the knife at some point. Because he said the point I need to make is it's not premeditated. I'm gonna try to present the knife here, but maybe save first. Witness. Okay, it worked. Do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. Was that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lena Sky planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Order, order, order. Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is as good as free. No, she's not as good as free. We still have a lot of things going against us. Right. I believe the next lunch you will be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Ah, the prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lena Sky, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing that prosecution needs proven, nothing else needs to prove. Very well, Mr. Prosecutor, I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I would like to hear your testimony again, without any bias. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Lena Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. It was one stab. Okay, we know what to object to, what to present. The autopsy report on the last one. But let's see if there's other things we can do. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, Rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. I can read. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. How does she know that? You have 11 minutes, Jay, or you'll be another victim. What? Where did that 11-minute come from? You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth's thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant Miss Lena Sky's phone. And 11 minutes until I stab my pizza. She might have written him a letter, so why is she making this up? You could have tried public phone first, at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. She's making a lot of assumptions without any evidence. What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Okay. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there is a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. I don't get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. The judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? Okay, Edgeworth is helping me here. It is simple. Okay, this is my chance to present the autopsy. But if I do that without pressing, I might miss my chance to press. And I'm curious what she might say if we press. Maybe pressing her will prompt us to present the autopsy, right? One knife wound. A human machine? That's a contradiction. Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit. Why can you smell it all the way from there? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. This is a murder case, people. I have an objection. Give me the chance to object. Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest is a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Can we get to the point where I object? Okay. Have to go through all of these. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Why is he helping me? I should have said this statement myself. Is he my fae now? You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's the defense attorney here? What a hunk. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. To quote the guide I'm reading along with spoiler-free, finally you're making progress, but at the same time Edgeworth is stealing your thunder. What if the splatter on that coat was ketchup? Now that she mentions this. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splatter blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. What is muffler? That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. There was no scarf. She keeps making things up. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. Does she? She does. Wait, did I not see it in the picture? Why did she have it off? So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? Not in the photo, though. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. Judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I don't think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Okay. Did I already press on this? It's too late. Has it been 11 minutes? Time to stab the pizza. I think I need to present the photo and say, like, there is no muffler in the photo. But I don't remember if I pressed on this. Should I press on this and have Edgeworth steal my thunder again? Actually, no, he stole my thunder on an objection, right? Let's just object. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind. He is stealing my thunder again. When she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you've finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. I think he wants to turn into a defense attorney. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Can you ask about that, please? Tell us about that. Yes! Finally, very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? Is she reading my thoughts? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly, a predator. This one, a leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Why was it important for her to mention the oil drum? It is accurate that one of them is knocked over. But it just feels suspicious when she left out some important details in her first testimony. So, where is this partition on the floor plan? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. There's tomato juice everywhere. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? How did she catch her? I think this is the most important thing that we need to press on. Say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. But you had that thing I don't remember the name of, separating you. Or to call an ambulance. There's a telephone booth there, yeah. I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details? Yeah. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link. Chain link, I need to remember the name of that thing. Chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Was that even possible? I don't have a picture of the parking lot, but I feel like it reached out all the way to the top. The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten my sister that fast. Okay, there it is. There is actually an opening. That fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? I think what happened is she found the body, she tried to call her sister, and also tried to call an ambulance through that telephone booth that Flonnie mentioned. She wasn't in a rush to run away for anything, and that's why she got apprehended. It is between them. The chain link fence is between them in the picture. So it is correct in that term. But yeah, she would have to climb over it or get to her somehow. As to why was she talking about that? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately. My memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see? No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. I forgot. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. That's, right, near the car there was an emergency phone on the wall. Don't tell me an emergency phone was out of service. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness? Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. Muffler could be... Let me look up, like, maybe muffler has different meanings. Heavy scarf worn around the neck for warmth, a device that absorbs noise, especially one used with an internal combustion engine. For a car? Anything used in muffling, especially a scarf for protecting the head and the neck in cold weather. A tippet. Oh no! Scrolling my wheel on the website still goes into controlling the game. What did it do? How many lines did it skip? I think we just pressed her on this one, right? When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? Oh, we did this already. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell phone instead. That doesn't make sense. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? I was going to ask the same thing. Everybody is trying to steal my thunder today, what? I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookie. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. You could not have seen that from where you are. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. Didn't we find the phone by the car, not behind the partition? And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. I saw it all, how she tried the phone on the wall but had to use her cell phone instead. Let me save. I think this is the line that we just pressed her on, and I feel like she should not be able to see that, so maybe if I present this picture, he'll be able to make the point that she couldn't have seen her. Okay, that doesn't seem like a, a failed thing. Weird. I thought I heard Discord, but I don't see any dots. Never mind. Ignore Discord. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lena Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cover it all up. Let's look at the floor plan. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Order, order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Damn it, this is tough. I don't think she lied about where she saw it, because we do know she was in Block B from the picture that she took. The order of events... No, I think she's lying about what she saw specifically. But let's save just in case this is wrong. The witness lied about the quality of her lunch. Probably that too. Order of events... Now let's go with this one first. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory. No, it wasn't the right option. Okay. But why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? Doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? She's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. So that means it was about where she saw it happen. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the Pitui on rice, right? Mr. Wright, I thought you had something there. One more try. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told us. Okay. I'm not gonna reload. It's okay, we still have some points to lose. I don't know, I was feeling so strongly against where she saw it. So I'm gonna go with order of events. But I feel it's gonna be They're gonna be like, what was the order of events? And then I'm gonna be like, I have no idea. Let's go with here, where she saw it. What is significant about this fact? Nothing, therefore it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. But that doesn't add up with this. A different location. No, that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star... I didn't read that. Maybe she was in the security room. But what about the picture that was taken from here? Let's go with this. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the table could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Is she conceding? Witness, what have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and she said she saw it from Block B. And she did take that photo in Block B, like there's no doubt about it. Was this all a setup? Like maybe she knew Lena would be coming to Edgeworth car for some reason, wearing a dirty coat and gloves. And she took a picture of that. We don't even have a timestamp on that picture. But she did witness a murder. That still doesn't change. It must make a vital difference. But what? What would change? I think she needed to make the testimony fit with the picture. So I'm gonna go with the first option, the angle of view to the crime. Because she was really relying on that picture, right? Why the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? That wasn't right? Damn it, maybe I should have saved. Okay, let's save because we're getting low on HP now. Wrong. I'm Mr. Wrong. I was so sure about it though. How are they gonna explain the picture then? I'm thinking ahead too much. I'm not picking the long-hanging fruit. Okay. Let's say it's about distance, but I feel like it's similar distance. Lighting? I mean, they're in a parking lot. The lighting is gonna be the same everywhere. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The difference between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. Damn it, so it was the last one. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Wait, it wasn't wrong? Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness? Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing. I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Wow, it took her quite a while. So by the time she got there, the murder was done and she took the picture, right? That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in Block B. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. They had sporks back then, but they were clueless about what a digital camera is. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Existence of a thing does not imply common knowledge of a thing. Yeah. Damn it. Let me think. Let's go with the raise an objection thing. Maybe Wright will give us a clue on what we should be presenting. Objection. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank, isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? You would run the hell away. I guess I would flee the scene. Hey. Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut. What? I cannot make sense of this sentence. We screwed that can. It's not a verb. It's a okay. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned. Can opener open a can, or can it not? Cannot do it. Hold it. What? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunch boxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Whoa, a triple-decker. Hey! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Damn, he's too easy to bribe. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. How does she know this information? One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lena Sky. This shoe proves it as flawless, decisive evidence. We do know that Lena cut her hand, right? But why does she have information? Why does she have this information? There was blood found on the shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. Okay. In any case, Your Honor, I cannot accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. What's the second rule? However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. She's just like Von Karma. Yes, she is. And she claims she hates prosecutors for doing the same thing she's doing. Projection much? Is that what the projection means? Okay. Decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes ago when I wasn't... Those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? Oh no, I'm starting to yawn. I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it? But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid somebody would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon, if that would happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunch bag, really. Did she have the shoe in the same bag with the lunches? In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have blood stains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman? As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lena Skye. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, Rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there is very little doubt it could be anyone but Mrs. Lena Skies. So the suspect blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. This shoe proves it as flawless, decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts? No? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She is in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Oh, we can check it. There's blood at the bottom of it in a way that makes no sense. It's not... There's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe? It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood is horrible. This blood might be an important clue. Okay. This blood is my sister's, right? It appears so. Lena's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. I think I'm gonna say I have a problem with it. Because it does not make sense how his blood is on the bottom only. Why is it not on the top? And I feel like if he stepped in his own blood, it should be on this side too. I don't know. Let's just say we have a problem with it and see what Wright has to say. Wait, did I use the wrong option? Please tell me I saved. There's nothing there. And if I just stab blindly at it, I'll hurt my case. Or he's stopping me from making a critical mistake, right? You picked the wrong one. Case closed. I think they're stopping me from getting a case closed. Okay. That's pretty sly. Hiding evidence like that. There's nothing sly about a lawyer using the law as a weapon. In any case, science is always on our side. Don't forget, scientific investigation is the wave of the future. Maybe I should investigate this evidence a little more closely. Did I not investigate it closely enough? There's nothing else I can inspect. I picked the wrong option, really? Wait, did I need to do something to trigger that? I think I needed to press right. I guess I accidentally picked the second option. Oh wait, I am reading them wrong. The top one is the one with no problem. Okay. There is a problem, it's the second option, not the first. If I'm not imagining things, I would say there is one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I would give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or I'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. What? Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of his shoe? Well, I don't see a pool of blood in here that he could have stepped into. But what could be my evidence? Is that really my evidence? I am afraid of losing more points, so let's save before presenting this. Why is it not letting me save? The save button is not working? Okay, let's just present it. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any blood footprints found by the scene of the crime? Okay, that makes more sense than a puddle of blood that I was looking for. As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. The picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Is he helping me again? Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. You were hoodwinked to the very end. Hoodwinked? What does that even mean? But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. Is he being my fae right now? What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. We know there was water in that oil drum too, right? Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman, rar. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the Sloyd conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? It would have washed away the footprints, right? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. So we're back to this being premeditated, or at least... I don't know, it doesn't make sense when she confessed to it right away. Why is she trying to cover it? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lena Sky. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. A photograph. This also is different from the rope that they had at the crime scene, outlining the body. Also, he's not wearing his shoes. Had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. Now I feel like more like she planted it, but how did she manage to get the blood? I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at this asphalt in this photo. It's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. No. Jay? I'm sorry, Mia. You're going to bully her away, aren't you? Blame it all on her. Probably. It's Maya all over again. Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. Okay, we need to look at that picture more closely. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I would like to declare a verdict for good. Can I object? Okay, he objected. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph. The one last submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right? Are you saying there is a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. There is a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since you've come this far, we could find every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. The only thing I can think of is... Well, I was about to point at his foot that's not wearing a shoe, but why is there a piece of paper in here? Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna point at this piece of paper. I think this might be maybe the memo? Or whatever she meant by muffler? Okay, I think that was a wrong answer. What's this? Oh, never mind. It was right. There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Oh, this thing is called a muffler. Okay. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. I think I just need to present this, right? Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler? Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. She's dying. I guess we're gonna go on a recess and investigate, right? Well, not recess. Like, he's gonna give us an extra day to investigate. Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. It's lunchbox time. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whoa, that was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. He wants us to investigate in the 30-minute? Okay, fine. We can go and take a look at it and come back, no problem. We don't need food, we don't need a lunch break. We've been eating lunch during the court. Fine. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. Okay, to be continued. Maybe this will be a quick investigation though. But I think it's not gonna go like an extra day, so we still have 2 more days even after this investigation and going back to court, right? Never mind, it says right there, day 2. Never mind. Okay, let's investigate a little. Or I don't know, maybe it's better to end the stream here, because I am sleepy. Day 1 was the investigation. Oh, you're right. Court started day 2. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Meteor. That seems like a choking hazard. Hmm. You know what? Yeah, I think I will end the stream here, actually. Meteor came in. I don't know. The weekend was a bit rough with the family, having to, I don't know, prepare a whole lot of things. And I feel like I haven't recovered yet from it, so maybe I will just call it here. I mean, it was fun spending some time with the family, but also very exhausting. To be frank, I've been here. Yeah. I will end the stream here. I will be back tomorrow with Soren, Children of Morta. Whenever he's ready to start the stream, we can go live. Thank you for the stream. Thank you too for lurking. Oh, actually, maybe I should show this before I forget about it. This is Flonny bullying me. Per quote 21, the witness states, "Do I have a quote for kill the babies? I don't, do I? But quote 23 clearly... damn it. Okay, wait. I'm not fast enough. But quote 23 is clearly a quote for killing the babies." Hold it. You say that quote 23 is the baby killing quote that Jay made, but how is that possible? If this was questioned in quote 21, are you suggesting that Jay should have somehow foreseen the future quote? The point of hiding is the lack of evidence. The prosecution makes a valid point. How do you explain this, Mr. Wright? A simple slip of the tongue. Yes, quote 21 precedes quote 23, but it's not like it's the only baby-killing quote. Quote 16 clearly states, "I lost the kids." And that's how I was found guilty, I guess. Order. There was only one order, Flonny. The judge never says order once. There should have been at least two. But yeah, that was cool. Maybe I should post the website you used in there, just in case people want to make their own. Damn it. I need to find it. Okay. This is a link to the one that Flonny made, but I guess if you erase some stuff, maybe it's just the objection.lol makes you do your own. I did not explore how it works because Flonny warned me that there might be spoilers in there. Tazix never came up with a refutal, so I guess it's a guilty verdict for Jay after all. Wait, did Tazix? Oh, one of these messages was from Tazix. You're right. I was looking at them and I thought they were all just you, like, trying to add more points one by one. But then... Okay, this is cool. This is very cool. I don't know. My brain just put Flonny's name and avatar on every single message and those links. The Edgeworth sentence is Tazix, yes. Well, that was a good attempt. But yeah, good job, both of you. Sorry for not noticing that and crediting Thazix for it as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys around. I'll be back tomorrow with Children of Morta. And then Thursday, ukulele. And yeah, have a good rest of your week. And I'll see you guys around. Bye-bye.